Hola, buenos días. Hoy es día 68 of 100 Days of Spanish, which is un curso gratis on YouTube and also on my website, spanglishfantastico.com. Subscribe to help me and to help you. And hoy quiero hablar de comprar billetes de tren. All right, we did that yesterday, which is ayer. But today, pero hoy, quiero hacer un viaje más largo, a longer journey. So that involves buying a different tipo de billete. Okay, now this lesson is going to be really useful if you're going on by train, but it's also muy útil for anybody who wants to aprender español, because there's a lot of lenguaje that you can adapt y usar para comunicar tus mensajes. I'd just like to have a little look at that word mensaje. It ends in aje, and in English it's a message, so mensaje, message. We've got that aje turning to ij in English. A viaje is a trip or a journey. It comes from voyage, viaje, voyage. Language, lenguaje, language. ¿Sí? ¿Escuchas? Por ejemplo, un porcentaje. Or if you have un coche de alquilar, a rental car that we've covered a couple of times, then you might have to pagar el kilometraje, por ejemplo. So those are some useful words, useful vocabulario que tú puedes usar para tus mensajes. Now, if you want to buy un billete de tren, that for un viaje, para un viaje un poco más largo, then you might need to buy it at the ticket office, or you could buy it online, but let's practicar el lenguaje. First of all, if it's a one-way ticket, es un billete de ida. And this word ida, I thought it came from ir, which means to go, and ido is I've been or gone or went. So ido is like a past participle, a past tense. He ido is I've been. He ido a Roma. He ido a Timbuktu. He ido a Shangri-La. No importa. ¿Dónde has ido? Yo he ido a, and then the place, the name of the place. Ida, when I looked it up in el diccionario, ida is the outward journey, la ida. So, quiero un billete de ida tiene sentido. Maybe you'd like to come back. Quiero un billete de ida a Sevilla. But maybe you want to come back, which is de ida y vuelta. Y vuelta. Vuelta is the return. A vuelta is also a tour, so la vuelta de España is the tour of Spain, like the tour of France. La vuelta de España. Volver, they both come from this word volver, which means to return. And it's also a good film starring Penelope Cruz that you might want to watch. I know it's your favourite, Brian, if you're watching. And so, quiero un billete de ida y vuelta a Sevilla, por favor. Useful if you're buying the ticket, and if you're not buying the ticket, la vuelta, the return journey, is still useful. And then you want to say which class you would like to travel in. So it's so easy, es muy fácil, muy sencillo. Es preferente primera clase o turista segunda clase. So you can just say primera clase, segunda clase. ¿Sí? Para comunicar cómo quieres viajar, how you want to travel. ¿Cómo quieres viajar? ¿Sí? Then quiero hablar de los trenes en España. Hay el AVE. El AVE es un tren muy rápido. It's like the bullet train, and AVE actually stands for Alta Velocidad España. So quiero viajar en AVE if you have a lot of dinero. Or you might want to go for something that doesn't, que no cuesta tanto. It doesn't cost so much. No cuesta tanto. Which is, you could go in España, you could go El Talgo. El Talgo is like an intercity train. Es rápido, it's just not a bullet train. See? But it's not una cercanía, which is like the cerca means close. I don't know if you saw the video with cerquita, 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 muy lejos, which is una canción infantil. Okay, whether you saw it or not. Las cercanías are los trenes que paren, they stop, paran, in every little town. El tren para. So much. Para means it stops, as well as for. See, el tren para mucho. You don't want that if you're going across España, or if you're going. Now, what about if you're not en España? Then los trenes no se llaman el AVE, el Talgo. So you need to be able to comunicar. Quiero el tren más rápido. The fastest one there is. How will you say that? Lo más rápido que hay. O quiero un tren rápido, but I want to economize a little bit. Pero quiero economizar un poco. You see, ese lenguaje es útil para todos. Sí. And finalmente, quiero hablar del precio un poco. So, caro is expensive y barato is cheap. But you can expresar esas ideas just by saying it costs a lot or it costs a little. Cuesta mucho, cuesta poco. Quiero un tren que cuesta poco. Quiero un tren que no cuesta tanto. And that's a train that doesn't cost so much. See? Right. Now you should be able to say, regarding trains, quiero un billete de ida y vuelta. Quiero viajar. Quiero un billete de primera clase en el tren más rápido. And also you should know some of these words that end in age en inglés, AJE en español, el lenguaje, el porcentaje, el mensaje. And that brings me round to what we're doing mañana. Mañana es una clase fenomenal que me gusta mucho. So vuelve mañana. Mañana quiero presentar una canción por el artista Beppe. Y la canción se llama El Mensaje. So I hope that I'm going to see you mañana for that. Muy bien. Hasta mañana. Adiós.